Well, hello, my beautiful friends. Happy Sunday and happy Mother's Day to all the beautiful mothers out there listening in. I hope you have had a wonderful day and will continue to have a super great day. It is been a very quiet day for me. The little ones just got back home and my two have already sent me text messages first thing this morning about 5 o'clock and 6 o'clock. So, anyways, I've just enjoyed myself so far today. And now being with you guys makes it even better. Let's see who we got in the house today. Hi, Kelly Joe. Hi, Brown Eyes Girls. Let's see, there's Lori. Hello to you. And we've got let me get down here. Okay, let me do it on my phone because it's so much easier to read than on my computer. Okay, Lolly, it's me. Okay, good deal. Good deal, good deal. Let me do this real quick. There we goes. There you go, Kelly Joe. Hey, TJ, how are you? Blue Eyes, how are you? Rhonda. Hey, butterflies, how are you doing? And Show Poodle. Hello, hello. Miss Charlene is in the house. Hello to you. Town Chat Cafe. Thank you for being here. West End. Let's see, we got anybody else sneaking in here? KJ. Bobby and Elaine. Thank y'all for being here. Appreciate y'all so much. Holly, our beautiful Holly's here with us. Okay, so is it Kelly Joe or is it KJ? You gotta let me know which one. So, hi, Patty. Good to have you. KJ? Okay, good deal. So, we're all good there. Happy gal, Brenda. How are you doing? Thank you for being here. We appreciate you. We really, really do. All right, guys. So, before we get started, I'm going to read something to you. Let me get it pulled up on my end so that way I can read it much, much, much better. Oh my goodness, I got a picture of this is, let me see here. I'm going to show y'all. This is my daughter and my grandson. He had a tournament this weekend. He is the cutest little booger in the world. He had a tournament. I didn't get to go. But anybody else sneak in on us? Thank you all for being here the other day, yesterday while I was just sitting outside with the dogs. I appreciate y'all all showing up. It was really good. Good little chat we had. I wish I could have seen what everybody was saying. But hey, Bo. Hi, Laverna. Hello, hello. Anybody else sneak in? Happy gal, Brenda, Laverna. Okay, I think we're good. And let me just say Thank you to those who go back and watch replay. I enjoy the conversations and the chats that y'all have, your comments that you leave. I just love them. So thank y'all so much for, number one, coming to watch, and number two, leaving your thoughts. It is awesome. Hi, Kelly and Gypsy. Hello to you all. Happy Mother's Day to all you beautiful mamas out there. I hope everybody has had a good day. Okay, so we're going to start out and do this. Let me get this pulled up. Oh, I hate when I click the little box to choose it and it pops off. Aggravates me. Okay, says God's masterpiece. God took the fragrance of a flower, the majesty of a tree, the gentleness of morning dew, the calm of a quiet sea, the beauty of the twilight hour, the soul of a starry night, the laughter of a rippling brook, the grace of a bird in flight. Then God fashioned from these things a creation like no other. And when his masterpiece was through, he called it simply Mother. That was done by Herbert Farnham. And I thought that was the most beautiful poem ever to describe a mother. The fragrance of a flower, the majesty of a tree, gentleness of the morning dew, the calm of a quiet sea, the beauty of the twilight hour, the soul of a starry sky, the laughter of a rippling brook, the grace of a bird in flight. God fashioned from these things a creation like no other, and when his masterpiece was through, he called it simply Mother. I wanted to share that with y'all today since it is Mother's Day, because we as mothers don't always see ourselves in that sort of way. But we've come to learn that our children do sometimes. Oh, no, no, no. I almost ended it. No, just give me the chat back. But yeah, it is a sweet poem. It is, I think, one of the best poems I've read in a long time. And it even gave me just a little bit of a boost, feeling better about myself. Y'all know I fight depression these days, and it's nothing I'm ever going to hide. I have my down days and stuff. And here lately, I've just been trying to struggle through and figure out what I'm supposed to do or whatever. I have to now wait for my appointment to go before the judge for my disability. And it's just very aggravating. Hi, Joan. Thanks for being here. Kelly, so glad you're here. But anyways, and then I got up and I went to church this morning. It's the first time in my entire life I did not have my family there at church with me, and I was just sitting in a row by myself. And if it wasn't for the rain, I probably would have went to my son's headstone and just spent time there today, but I think God knew I didn't need to go and do that today. So when I found that poem, I just thought, that's an uplift to all of us as mothers, because we're we're pretty badass. We might forget that from time to time, but we are. And you have to be as a mother. You have to be everything to your, they need to see your weak side, they need to see your strong side, they need to see your emotional side, they need to see all sides. It is a good thing for them to see. And with today being Mother's Day, I thought that was a super poem to read. And just to encourage you as a mom, you're amazing. Keep going. Keep being you. So, anyways, we got that out of the way. If you are new to the channel, we'd love to have you join us, be part of us over here. We have a super great chat that goes amazing in here. Good people. I'm proud of each and every person in my chat. And we would love to have you join us. So subscribe. Make sure to hit that thumbs up. I really appreciate that one. Become a member if you can. There is a $1.99 tier. So just under $2 every month is what it would be. We've got a goal set up here. All I ask is that you help the channel out. I have to do my storage building. I have made it very clear to everybody. Looky here. What is this? Green Manalishi. That is what my cousin named my golf cart because it's lime green and black. That is the exact name. Oh, and I never can say that last part right. And so I'll call it the Green M. Thank you for that. That is so super sweet. I appreciate you so much. Let's get you a little happy dance. For that Green M, I appreciate you. That made me laugh because when I got my golf cart down at the lake, everybody was all excited to ride it. It had the seat belts in the back for the kids, got the turn signal, the little horn, and all the things to it. And they were like, "We got to give it a name." And that's what my cousin named it. And I can't never say that last part. Manalishi, or I don't know. Anyways, thank you, Green M. I appreciate you so, so, so much. That made me laugh today. Thank you. Yeah, it's a Scorpion song. Yes. Yep. I got me some change scraped up while ago and went and bought me a Pepsi. But oh goodness, Texas Plain Jane, you have fun. That sounds amazing, fishing with the kiddos. Oh my goodness. That's some great memories to get made there. I love those kinds of memories. You got you some Pepsi too, Bo. All righty. Way to go. So, anyways, all the things, guys, all the things. Subscribe, all the other stuff that goes along with the whole thing. We want to grow our channel. We want to be able to get it out into the algorithm so people can start hearing what we got to say and how well we all get along over here in chat. Oh, yum. I would love me some fish, some fresh fish and fried up. If I move to the lake, it's going to be a weekly thing over there for me. Y'all wait and see. Yes, happy Mother's Day to all the mamas out there. But hey Yelva, how you doing? Texas Plain Jane. Mhm. Brianna's World. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you so much. Oh goodness. Well, today we're going to talk about Swbastians Mother. So distasteful to do this today. Well, is there a good day? I bet Sebastian's not having a good day today. I mean, what's a good day? Welcome. Welcome, Laverna. Welcome to the membership. We are so excited to have you. And we are going to play a little song and welcome you to the South. Welcome. Welcome to the South. We break that good stuff out. We got enough to go around. You gotta get it right and get down. Welcome to the South. Welcome, welcome. Thank you, Laverna, for becoming a part of the Lollipops. We're excited to have you. So, yes, today's title, Swbastians Mother, Why Will She Not Talk? And I debated on whether to even talk about Sebastian's case today or not. And I thought, today is about mothers. Sebastian has a mother. And let's ask some questions. Let's ask those questions. Why does she not talk? And when she does talk, why does she not go too deep in with her talking? And why is it that she only chooses certain times and places and all that to talk? Wait, I was trying to look up something. I just lost it. Da, 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 da. Maybe. Yes. Okay, Neuro. I gotcha. I saw just a tad bit and I was looking at it and it got away from me. And I was like, ah. But yeah, I'm sure today has got to be a hard day. I will give her all that. It's just I'm not sure what type of day that hard is. Is it because her son is not with her? Is it because she recalls everything that happened the last time she saw him? That's where I let me see if I can do. Okay, hang on, guys. We got to turn off the emojis. This is getting out of control, stupid. Trolling, trolling, trolling. People don't got anything better to do with themselves. Insane, insane. But I got to get it pulled up over here. So y'all hang in there. Let me get it pulled up. And because people like to be idiots, we're going to have to not be allowed to have. Hold on. There we go. I think that's it. Oh, this is so aggravating that you can't even do anything because other people. Okay, it should be off. Somebody try to put something in. Yeah, you can't do. Okay, that should be it right there. Nope. Blue eyes, can you turn off the emojis? Can you get that turned off? 'Cause I swear I just did it. There's nothing nothing on. Hang tight, guys, we're gonna get this figured out. Okay, Blue eyes, see if you can do it now. Ugh. Okay, am I froze over here? Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me? It froze up on the other side. They're gone? Okay. Okay. Alrighty. So today I wondered what kind of Mother's Day Katie was having. I wondered where Sebastian is. Is he thinking about his mom on Mother's Day? Is he upset with his mother for what happened? Does he still call and talk to her? You know, she doesn't come out and talk much. Mr. Chris tells all the things, but the mother, okay, Rhonda, no problem. But his mother only speaks a few times. Yesterday we were talking about Dateline, who has a massively huge following around the nation, everywhere. It would go national, and yet they didn't want to do a recording. They just wanted to do an article. I question so much of that. Okay, TJ. I don't know. If it gets out of control, let me know. We can always stop and come back. I don't know. When we start hitting some nerves, people start coming in. You can always tell if you said something to strike a nerve with someone. Yeah, Brianna. It doesn't make sense. Just like Mr. Chris on Smiley's that day said, you know, he's not gonna talk to JLR. He don't like him, but yet JLR had massive amounts of people that follow him. people that would have seen him on JLR, heard their story, would have been huge, huge, but, his feelings came first. I believe that Sebastian's mother has been ridiculed with the inconsistencies she has put out. I believe his mother is trying her best to do all of her stories correctly. You can see her almost stop and kind of reconsider and look for him to give her encouragement. But I'm telling you, folks, she was the one that was there. She should not need encouragement on her work. And if things were to have gone down badly that night after Texas Roadhouse, or if she did do an exchange before they got home from Texas Roadhouse and put him off into someone else's car and him went from there, he would have not been very happy at all. So, as a mother, how do you have a Mother's Day and recall all of the little things like that happened the very last time you saw your child? I woke up this morning about 4:30. I had just had a rough night. Sleep an hour or 2, an hour, wake up, sleep 30 minutes, wake up, that kind of thing, all night long. And all I could do was sit and think about that very last Mother's Day, which had been almost a year prior to when I lost my son, him coming and dogpiling me up on the bed. "Happy Mother's Day," and he would just bear hug me and wrestle me around, shake me a little bit, and it was always, like, pumped up. "I love yous. I hope you have a great day. You're worth every bit of it." He was my biggest cheerleader, and I miss those times. Miss it, and it makes me question, does Katie miss that? Does she miss those times with Sebastian? Or did she make a choice and then just cut off the emotional side to all of it? It's very questionable, some of her actions. It is very, very, very questionable, some of the things that she says, and let's not forget what she's done, because we've been listening, or I have been listening to little Lily and Jack's story. Last night, I heard the interview, the words that the bus driver said, and he described those children to us unlike what the mother and father were saying. They gave a general description, but they didn't talk about who they were as a kid. They didn't tell us these things. And it was just days in when the mother is no longer there on that property. What happens if those babies are found and come home? They'll bring them back to that trailer house. Are you talking Rhonda, are you talking about Katie? Because, yes, I do. Rhonda said, "Do you think she was conditioned in childhood?" And I do think in Katie's childhood, with everything that happened, her growing up and then having to be basically raised by her grandparents, I do think she learned how to cut off those emotions. I do believe there is a point she gets herself to, and she will cut off her emotions. That's why I don't see her as this meek little person that is allowing all of this to happen because she doesn't want to upset her husband. I see Katie as a person that will stand up and say, "Look, take it or leave it," kind of thing. The only part that I think her childhood plays in today is just her learning how to turn off the emotional side of her, to cause her just to kinda shut that down so that she can be the person she needs to get the jobs done. Hi, Inga. Happy Mother's Day to you. Thank you all for coming in and being here with us. I appreciate y'all so much. But Katie put herself in the home with Sebastian from around 7 o'clock that night all through the morning or early morning hours into the very next morning at 6 AM. 6 o'clock in the morning. And she goes in there to wake him up, and he's not in his room. So she thinks to herself, "Okay, he might be making breakfast. I'll go check." But she passed the kitchen on the way there. I think if he was making something to eat in the kitchen, she would have heard activity, but I will give her this, to have that kind of panic shock feel, I could understand not remembering that I hear something in the kitchen. I think the case has been picked down to the bone. I watched a documentary on it was a Dateline little docuseries thing. Their son, 6 years previously, had lost their youngest son to leukemia. Their oldest son was still living at home and going to work with his father, learning the business. The mom tried to call because they were worried because he didn't show up for work. The dad thought, "Okay, maybe he just had a couple of bad days and, you know, I'll give him till tomorrow," but it didn't work. He wasn't anywhere to be found. His mother said, "I instantly isn't our word, which is a safe word they use. They say Marco, the other person comes back Polo. It's their way of saying 911, help, that kinda thing. This mother and this father, it took them 7 years to start to get the answers they needed as to where their son was at. The mother said when the searches would die down from law enforcement, she's the one that would put together with other volunteers and do searches. Over 7 years' time, she never let a flyer or anything come down any longer than about 2 to 3 hours. She was there to put new ones up, updated information, what they were looking for at this moment. 7 years, folks, and his mother never, ever stopped. She said she had weekly meetings with the news, and they ran a weekly story, an update. He had it, just a reminder that he's out there. She stayed on top of them. She kept in touch with people at the radio station just to continue to say his name. She went to the newspaper and would get the newest flyer that had all the information, the updated flyer, so that they could run an article about it. But in Sebastian's case, we have a mother who's more worried about Bullhorn Betty and terrified because of this one. You know, it's almost comical to me because here's Mr. Chris and his family, we'll say, sitting in court, terrified of Bullhorn Betty, who they've never talked to a day in their life in person. Her weight is significantly smaller than what they are, but they're afraid of her. But it was okay, I guess, for Mr. Chris to go on another channel and spew hate and threats and vulgarity to another YouTube creator who happens to be a woman. That's okay. They support that. He deserves that because he's had this bottled up for 15 months. It is never, ever okay for a man to blow his top the way Christopher Prophet did, and words used when he talked about Britney. It was uncalled for. How the hell is any of that going to help find Sebastian? Let's concentrate back over here on Betty, who was putting flyers of their missing family member. It is out of control. Stupid. Completely stupid. His mom doesn't get out and talk to people anymore. And I'm not even sure if there's anybody out there that really wants to hear what she has to say anymore, and that's her fault. She had the opportunity to reel us all in, would all be there sitting beside her, doing what we could to help with anything and everything. But she can't tell the same story 6 different times. There are 6 different versions of what happened after Texas Roadhouse. The most critical part in this timeline, she's not gonna share the truth on what happened, and you seriously cannot expect everybody to be okay with that. Knowing that the mother has CPS cases against her as well as the stepfather. No, I can't go with that. I can't support it. I don't want nothing to do with that. But she's not gonna talk. She'll talk on her terms. Her criminal defense lawyer will be there. They're gonna bring in some fake props in a fake home, and she sits there with her perky little eyeballs that are wide open and tells us the things that we have called out as a red flag, trying to change the narrative so it sounds and it looks a little better for them. I honestly believe Hey, D. Marie. How are you? I honestly believe, guys, that she's not talking because she can't get it right. Her mind is not allowing things to come out correctly, and that is why we have her husband constantly telling us what happened that night. Hey, YouTuber, we're not gonna give up on Sebastian. We really are not. And, I almost didn't do this today because it is Mother's Day, and I thought, we should talk about something different. But Sebastian's not found yet, therefore we need to keep looking. We need to keep talking. Hey, Sue, how are you? Thanks for coming in and being with us here. So we need to continue with Sebastian. And if what I have to say over here today upsets Katie or they try to make it out like I'm a bad person, just want them to remember it's her words that she spoke, her words make her look, not me. Bobby, thank you for gifting a membership. Guys, if y'all were gifted a membership from our beautiful Bobby, please, please, please say thank you. And we so appreciate you, Bobby, for doing that. And let's welcome our new lollipop. Welcome to the South.
Welcome, welcome to the South.
Gonna cut. I did see it play on my screen. I mean, my phone over here, so I hope y'all got to see it. It is glitching out today, and I got full signal, good signal today, and it's all glitchy. Can y'all hear me? I'm frozen, it looks like, on the screen. Yeah, we got more weather coming in. It's gonna be a rainy off and on in the next couple of days, cooler temperatures. Y'all, I wore long sleeves to church this morning 'cause down in the low 50s. It was pretty cool and rainy. Thank you, Cheryl. Hi, Angie. How are you doing? I do thank y'all all for being here. Mm, Mama the OG, how you? Hey, Neuro. I don't think that they realize that when Mr. Chris stands up there and speaks, how bad it looks. Oh, good, Auntie. Good. We're glad to have you. He runs with scissors. Good to have you. But if you stop and think about it, he speaks out just like we heard him on the phone with Seth's PI lady. And he's telling the story, but Katie's in the background trying to make sure he got all those little details right. Because Katie was there. She went through the actions. She remembers them. They stayed the same. Mr. Chris got pretty busy because of that. Just not exactly the way Katie said. And he doesn't realize that just makes them both look really bad. You hear of kids going missing all the time. You see these parents going on national TV, having all of these microphones up in front of them, doing this press conference type thing. Look at Gabby Petito's parents, her mom and stepdad, her dad and stepmom, all standing there together, a unit, because it wasn't about them. It was all about Gabby. They didn't sit there and tell different stories all the time. They said, "This is what we know," and it was always the same. And they had a lawyer standing to the side. They weren't sure about whether they should or shouldn't answer something. They would ask him, and he would respond in a way that let us know be very, very cautious right now with that question. But as soon as you tell you will, there's there's ways to go about the missing time. There's ways to go about wanting people to help you, to find them, or to look at their cameras to see if they have any information. But when the mother doesn't want to speak, she went 8 months without speaking about her child. 8 months, folks. She came out, she did interviews, and she did not speak out for 8 months. very sad because they can go to the other channels and listen to them over there. It's not about Sebastian. They might ask a question or 2 about Sebastian, then the rest of it is nothing but bull crap. And people will come and they will pull up and they're gonna see the different videos that are out there. And God help them if they were to see something from the other side and hear the language we've heard come out of those channels. I have information to tell you, but I need to get 10, $50 for my goal over here. And when I get my goal, then I'll tell you. Holding information for ransom, alive that had a lot of information, was put behind a $100 paywall. That had his parents. Something is not right with Sebastian's case, guys. There's a lot of things that are wrong the way they're happening. There have been people that have been threatened. Evil CJ told us on his channel one day when I was listening, and he had parts that were removed from his car underhood. People have had wires cut up under their car. They've had hoses taken off. They have had threats to their face. It's time for you to go and not come back kind of threats. You don't want to come back. You don't want to be over here. Trust me, kind of thing. Why do they not want anyone to get close to finding Sebastian? Why are there so many threats? Dogging it, I come in. Okay, like them. What? Now they're fighting, harassing the billboard companies to get the billboards down. They have someone that's associated with Netflix going in, logging in, and saying, I want to be a volunteer. Let me help here and I'll get it put in the right categories and get information out to the right people and stuff like that. Bobby. Any sense what these are the friends of the mother and stepfather. And yet Sebastian's still missing. Sebastian is still missing. Let me see. Hey guys, can y'all see me okay? Can y'all hear me okay? Y'all let me know. I don't know what happened, but my oh, hold on. My computer went on the glitz. Okay, I think I got it. Are y'all good? Can anybody see me? Okay. Y'all can hear me okay? I'm trying to find something to prop up because I had to get on my my tablet. My laptop was not doing well for me. Trying to get it set. There we go. Okay. So where were we? Sebastian's family and friends and all have not done anything to help his case whatsoever. They have tried anything and everything to keep his case from being solved. Is that going to work? Let me see here. Trying to make it work. Hold on, guys. It keeps wanting to fall. Hold on, please. Get that fixed there. Let me see what I can find here. Okay, good. Sorry. But let me see if I can pull back up over here. Okay. Who knows, TJ? Who knows? Okay. Town chat says same thing going on in North Texas. Okay. It's not just me. I'm going crazy. Uh, but anyways, guys, like I said, today is Mother's Day, and I seriously really thought real hard about whether we're going to continue to do this. But I thought, oh my gosh, for Sebastian's sake, yes, we are, because Sebastian is still missing. Sebastian's not here to give his mother a hug. Sebastian's not here to make her a card or whatever. So, yeah, we're going to still talk about him. And I'm not going to sit here and say Katie's having a super great day today. And I'm not going to sit here and say that she's having a really shitty day. I'm not going to say she's hurting today. I don't know what she is. Because we don't know the truth. We don't know the truth. And I know there's people over there that, I mean, they just keep the pot stirred. It's unreal. Unreal. But we don't know the truth. Do they know the truth? Do they know what really, really happened? They tell us there's 5 things listed on one CPS case. Seth, who had to get a lawyer to file so he could get a copy of the CPS reports, plural, because there are 5 cases since they have moved into the home where they're at. 5 of them, guys. And there's one sitting there still open that he can't get until it is closed. Nobody can get a copy of it till it's closed. Mr. Chris tells us that, and Katie backs him up, that CPS report is because he went missing. No, it's not. It's been open since the end of January, weeks before he went missing. And I honestly believe, in my opinion, that is what put him over the edge. They had to get rid of him somehow, some way. And on Mother's Day, I can't help but wonder how Katie's feeling. What are her emotions? What is she going through? Because we don't know. We don't get to see it. They only go on the other side of the channels who stroke them, coddle them, help explain their answers when they sound really bad. They make excuses for them. They won't come over here on this side of the street and answer questions that are basically the hard questions that we have. They won't do it. And until the truth actually happens, it comes out and it is told what happened after you left Texas Roadhouse until 6 a.m. in the morning. Until we know that truth, all we have to go by are their words. And their words is nothing but a jumbled up mess. That's it. They don't do anything to help themselves out. I don't understand why you're going to give us 2 days prior all the details, down to the people that were with you. And then it becomes, we went to Texas Roadhouse to get something to eat. And after we come back home, the trash went out about 15 minutes later. Then we get all kinds of versions of what happened inside that home after that trash was taken to the road. 6 different versions. She was sleeping at 10 o'clock. She went to sleep at 10:30. She's talked on the phone till midnight. She went to bed at 11 o'clock. She was studying. She fell asleep while talking on the phone. And they can't remember a time for that. She heard a noise and said, "Bubba, you okay? I don't know what you're doing in there, but cut it out and go to bed." He said, "Okay, Mama, love you." That story was only told twice, I believe, that way, because it all changed. It wasn't until Nancy Grace pushed her and questioned and came back at her with, "What kind of noise? Describe the noise that you heard." A thud. Her next interview, she says she heard a thud. She asked him if he fell out of bed. That was new. You see, when people don't want to tell the truth, they create their truth. But their body language Their words they use, they're always, always going to get them in trouble. They will get to a day where time has ran out. And if they don't speak out, someone else will. Hey, Shelley, thank you for being here. Appreciate you. I'm going to try my best to call you on Tuesday. Monday is the last of 2 ball games we got going, and then we'll start All Stars, but that won't be for a couple of weeks. So I think Tuesday I'll be able to give you a call. Hi, James Hunt. Somebody's not telling the truth. I know that much. Somebody is not telling the truth. You know, I sit over here today, struggle with the day only because I should have 3 of my babies telling me Happy Mother's Day. I should have 3 of them calling and talking to me, at least coming by and seeing me, all the things. But I only have 2. Katie only has 1. I wonder if she is not as upset, if they're going to tell the story that law enforcement said he had already left them, no longer alive. Go ahead and start moving on. Wouldn't law enforcement need to know that as a fact before telling the parents? But on top of that, law enforcement would have never said that. Never said that. I honestly believe they never said those words. And it's only because it is not, they're not at that place where they can say that right now. But law enforcement isn't saying much. And when you have, hey, passion flower, thank you. Did your grandkid like the dinosaur? My oldest one is begging me to let her have it. She is a dinosaur fan. Yes. Town Chat Cafe sent me a Texasaurus dinosaur mug. I love it. I'll get it and have it on here tomorrow. Y'all have to check out her merch store she has. It is super cute. But yes, my oldest granddaughter loves dinosaurs. And she is like, when you die, I'm getting your mug. I was like, oh my gosh. Bobby, I question that because I think there's enough that they know for sure that we have found out. And for the parents to know there's flashlight activity in the back of their yard and they're telling people it's not. It's on video of Christopher taking down flyers. Betty's not getting charged anymore, but by golly, they were riding hard on that. Why? Why are they allowing the threats to continue. The United Cajun Navy, the Uvalde Group. These are people doing what they know how to do, and they're volunteering their daggum time to come and help find Sebastian, and they got death threats and left. It's okay to threaten someone's life in Hendersonville, in Sumner County. So if y'all have somebody you want threatened, make sure you take them there because it's all good, right? That's what I'm learning. No one should ever be threatened, but they have been. And it's just got me shaking my head more than anything because why? Why are they okay with no one getting in trouble? Hey, Poppy Love. Hi, Janet. Is it Janny? Johnny. Okay, I see now. This one on my tablet's real dark. On my computer's real dark. My phone is a little brighter, and I got all the settings on the same, but makes it a little harder to read here. But Bobby, I think you're right. I am starting to honestly believe that. Bobby said, if the lights video would have never been leaked, I think Ellie would have burned it or buried it. Hmm. And I think that was the reason that it did get leaked, was because there was talk of it being just buried under piles and piles of stuff. So, yeah, very strange. The only thing the prophets are quick to dismiss is that 3 a.m. light video. Yeah. Yep. Just like Mr. Chris's truck pinging. Woo, he went off hot on that one. Went off hot when something was said about his mother. There's just certain subjects that set him off. And it kind of tells us a story, if you ask me, because he jumps the gun a little bit. Oh, I tell you, YouTuber and Joni, that case, there's something wrong with that case. There's some fishy business going on with that case. Those children, I do not believe, are out in the woods somewhere. I think they would have been found. I think they left a lot sooner than the parents wanted to let on. And Justin made the comment yesterday, and I'm like, yes, yes, yes. Thank you for saying that, Justin, because I was just sitting there typing all of this into a chat with my thumbs. You know, the four-wheeler was spotless, and they live out in some rough country, way, way out. Four-wheelers don't stay that clean. You might bring it in and spray it off and get some of the big clumps off of it, but it ain't gonna be super shiny like his was. That's it, Joni. When a police station refuses to do their job, you have to go higher. Exactly. And how about that high right there? Feel free to write a letter to the governor of Tennessee, letting him know that Sumner County is more concerned about putting a 5'2" YouTuber in jail because a 5'8", 5'9" big old man is terrified of her because she hashtagged his name. It needs to be done. Something needs to happen. And guys, I told y'all, I think the first of last week, I'm still have not got a chance to get with the person that has emailed me and said, hey, look, I got some information I want to share with you. So once I get that information on that county, we'll have a talk, because these people that work there, just like the CPS worker that was related to Mr. Chris, that person was fired when Seth FOIA'd and was approved to get the CPS cases. Get a copy of them. They fired that person on that spot. Boom, gone. Should have been done a long time ago for allowing all that, but at least Sebastian's dad did something and stood up for his son. And here we are. He has it. We know for a fact. Alicia Hot Wheels said, member for 4 months. I love that. Thank you so much. And she said, FBI needs to take this case over. I think it was said that the Rangers, maybe somebody can be asked to come in and look into this case. And it can be the parents to ask. And Seth does have that information. So that's a good thing. Because, yeah, somebody needs to come in. And Sumner County is not inviting the FBI to come in and take over. They'll do it themselves, because it's probably what they're getting paid to do. And a little on the outside to actually not do what they're really paid to do. Does that make sense? U.S. Marshals, that's it. Okay. That's what I say too. It's cross state lines. But yes, U.S. Marshals is the one. And he has that information. Because, folks, this man is still trying after all this time to get custody of his daughter. They don't need another child in that home. Could you just imagine if he got pissed off at her one day and snapped? And she'll be right there in their home. Brittany J's not even in their home, and look at how bad he went off on her. Could you imagine? Ugh. Hey, Janice and Napanat, how you doing? Everybody that's coming in, thank y'all all for being here. I do appreciate y'all. I started, this whole conversation out with thinking about my Mother's Day and the fact that I don't have one of my children here to even tell me Happy Mother's Day. And I wonder what Katie's going through, because I'm going back and recalling that very last time, about a year prior to him, almost a year prior to him in his car accident. But I can remember him dogpiling me on the bed, and I love you, Mom. Today's all about you. You deserve it. Da da da. Just on and on and on. And I wonder what Katie's thinking about. I wonder if Katie's thinking about the last time she actually had a conversation with Sebastian. I don't know. Okay. Town chat. Cool. Awesome. That's it, Alicia. I hear people say it all the time. She's living her best life. I don't know. I'm not there. I'm not her friend. She doesn't call me and talk to me like she does people on the other side. And I'm fine with that because I'm not here for Katie. I'm here for Sebastian. I feel bad for Sebastian's father because he didn't do nothing to be attacked the way he is. And y'all, Miss Skolnick has decided I am a biatch. I heard that's what she said in her live the other day about me. And she is a psychopath. She is now having conversations on her live about Sebastian's medications. She's putting them up on her screen, showing the names, dosage, all these things, and attacking Seth because he said he didn't give Sebastian all of those medications. That woman needs to be slapped upside the head. Holly, thank you for the super sticker. You are so sweet. I appreciate you so, so, so much. Let me see if we can make it happy dancing around here. We need some happy dance. Thank you for that, Holly. We love you. So I don't know what she's doing, but a child's medication is no one's interest, no one's information they need ever outside of his family. And then to use that to intimidate Sebastian's father is criminal. They don't they, they don't see it. They don't get it. She's trying to file charges on Betty because Betty mentioned her in one of her lives. Oh my God. Grow the hell up, people. It's this thing called social media. We have a right to our opinion. We're able to talk and say things pertaining to what our topic is of the day. And most of us have class when we do it. Most of us will sit here and say, now I don't have proof of this, but this is what's being said. Unlike some who listen to every tiny word that is being said over on Brittany J's channel. And when her husband said something about a bad kitty, they thought he said black. He called their kitty black. And it turned into a racial issue. It's the most stupidest stuff I ever heard in my life. These people are insane. Yes, Shelley says, in my opinion, Sumner County will say whatever they need for people to back off. That's a thing. It was quite funny when, all of this is Betty's fault. She's deserving all of this and all these things. And then when it gets taken out of the Sumner County, that little area there, and goes to an appellate court for the state of Tennessee. Mommy didn't have connections there, I guess, because they looked at the whole thing and said, this isn't even worth our time. And they threw it out. Yeah, TJ, that's what I'm hearing now. She is refusing to say now that she is related to Katie in any way. She's the one that started all that mess. She's the one that started it. But that's what some people do. They start something, they want to feel important, they need to be included, they need to be accepted, they need all the things. I just, guys, I don't need all that crap. I don't want all that crap. I want to sit here with you guys and talk and do what I wanted to do when I first started my channel. That's what I want to do. And if somebody doesn't like me, hey, newsflash to y'all, you don't have to listen to me. You know, there's a thing called block me from you. I'll never know, and it ain't going to hurt my feelings. Really, it's okay. So, IML says, I have 4 black cats. I'm telling you, they took that, and he was like, she is such a bad kitty. And they're like, oh my God, did you see what he heard? He just said, you know, their cat was bad. It was black. I'm like, there are black cats out there. Oh my God, these people are stupid. And then Brittany's cat died, and they are wanting to call in the Humane Society because her cat died. Lord help them. That's all I can say. They need some help. Let let Jesus take the wheel over there. He's either going to run off into the ditch just so we don't have to listen to him anymore, or he's going to get it all straightened out. Okay? That's my thought process. That's what I think. That's what I hope. And that's it, Deanna. Betty ain't going to give her the time of day. I don't know. Hi, Donna. Thank y'all for being here, everybody. I'm so proud to have y'all here with me today. Y'all always make me feel better. I been struggling a lot lately. I keep trying to apply for jobs that don't go through, and then I spent all my money on my kneecap. It looks so pretty. Oh Lord. But I can bend it today, so hey, it was worth it. It was worth it. But I just get to a point to where I just kind of ugh, but getting on here with you guys, y'all always make me just smile. Yes, TJ, y'all are my therapist. Yes. Yeah. And I'm keeping everything real with y'all. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say I live this perfect life because, nowhere close. Oh, thank you, Town Chat. Oh, it is the saddest thing. We start out talking about a missing young man, teenage boy, and we learned he had autism. We learned that he was very young in mind. We learned that, he ate, and it was like horrible. You're just almost embarrassed to take him out to eat anywhere. And then we hear from his father. And it wasn't nothing like that. His stepfather told us how he liked to defecate and pee in his pull-ups. And he just thought if he wants to do that and likes it so much, then leave him in there all day, sitting there in it all day. It is rough. Thank you, Bo. But we we hear two different versions of Sebastian's life. One when he's at his dad and he's so comfortable and just laid back and chilling. One over here where he gets a spanking and he's in trouble because he didn't have a belt on that morning. He got a whack across the butt. A whack. Why? Because he didn't have his belt on. Seth says when he starts to give him attitude, he turns it back around to him and says, okay, I thought we could do this or we could, do that. But if you're not going to get up and do what you need to do and take care of the things you need to take care of, then no, we're not going to do those things. And according to his dad, he'd get up and slowly get about up and about doing it. The way to talk to these kids. And I do not believe at his home with his mother and his father that he was ever talked to in any type of respectful manner. Yeah, Michelle Volke. Oh, yeah. There is a common denominator when it comes to all of his exes. After, I look at it this way. People remarry, they get married, if they get a divorce, they remarry second time. If you have to go to that third time from there on, you're the common denominator in the issue portion of it. So I don't know. I just know this, guys. Sebastian is still missing. His father was at work. He's seen on camera. If he's not directly on a camera, there are workers that have said, yes, he was here all night. He never left. He did not get someone to go pick up Sebastian. He didn't take a 2-hour nap, which was plenty of time for him to go there and get back. I mean, these are their words over there. Seth didn't do anything to his son or with his son. But his mother and his stepfather, who seem to think it's okay to take vacations, not be at the house because he could be anywhere. He could be in East State now. How do you know, Katie? If he just ran away, he's probably over there hiding out, got him a little fort or something like that till he calms down and comes back to your home where you weren't at. Folks, his mother left because she knew he wasn't coming back. She knows exactly where he is. And sadly, even though it is Mother's Day, I will call it for what I see it. Katie put herself in that home with her son all night. Her timeline starting at 6 a.m. when she woke up and went straight to his room. All of that goes down, all of that searching, and it's all in 3 minutes. It just doesn't make sense, folks. Town Chat Cafe, thank you for gifting a membership. If you were the lucky giftee, will you make sure to tell Town Chat thank you for that? I'm telling you, I'm so proud and lucky to have you guys. Holly says they don't even know how jobs work 2-hour naps. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. They're goofy. Let's play a little happy dance and then we're going to go straight to Welcome to the South.
Welcome, welcome to the South. We break that good stuff out. Got enough to go around. Can I get a right and get down? Welcome to the South.
Welcome to the new members. Thank you guys so much for your generosity. I do appreciate it so much. And, anybody doesn't know, the money I make off of here helps me to pay my storage building, my 2 storage buildings that has my entire life in it. um, Katie's a mother. She is. She became a mother just a little over 16 years ago. She holds on to a story of the video that they finally found 14 months later or 13 months later or something like that. That there's hope. We have hope. Made a big deal of it, but yet before it was ever aired to everybody, law enforcement came in and said, wait a minute, we debunked that within 48 hours. KJ said, never been married, never will. I was married twice to the same guy. We are so much better friends. But there was a lot going on with our son, and it was just rough, and then we lost him. And I think we both shut down on that for a good long time. Yeah, didn't learn the first time. But when a parent is going to have you go on a wild goose chase and look at things that have already been debunked, when they are going to tell the public until law enforcement can tell me who that is and tell me these things, I have to question, why do you have to wait for law enforcement? That person lives down the road from you. Go ask. Go yourself and ask. But then it makes sense when I tell myself she don't have to ask because she already knows it's not him. But let's sell that to the public. Let's sell it to the news stations. Folks, his mother is not doing everything possible to find her son. She is doing more damage than she's ever done to help find him. Crime Time Buzz had on Saturday the person who saw Katie and Chris at Ford Pond in Oregon. Y'all go listen to that. There was the RV there. There were 4 people staying in it, the older couple, and then Katie and Chris. There's way too much they're trying to hide and yet be these devoted parents at the same time that wrong and right don't mix well. When you're doing something wrong, trying to be right, it's not going to work. It's not like you're sitting here mixing up a cocktail drink. Those things blend together. The truth and a lie don't blend at all. And that's what we're seeing. That's what we're hearing from them. And that, my friends, is what we go back and listen to. That's what we talk about. We're not making up anything. Between what Katie and Chris has said, what Seth has said, and what law enforcement has said, and we've heard it with our own ears, that's what we can talk about. And we're going to keep talking about it. And we're going to keep digging in. And pretty soon I'm going to start digging into Sumner County and let's see what we can find. Because something's not right over there. Something's not right. It needs to be better. Sebastian deserved better. It's out of control stupid is what it is right now. So, and in the meantime, we're going to continue to call things out like we see them. We're going to do it because we're all here for Sebastian. All of us over here on our little corner of the street, we're here for Sebastian. And yet, people from his stepfather's family are threatening other people when it comes to this case. His mother doesn't talk for 8 months. She does no interviews, no nothing. You can go through her lawyer. Why would an innocent mother need a criminal defense lawyer if she was just sleeping and woke up and her child ran away? Because she's very positive he ran away. That's the script, folks. There was a script in place. They were practicing it probably for weeks before. That's my guess. She does. She has a criminal defense lawyer. Yes, Irony Rose. Because she knows what happened to her child and she knows she's going to be a defendant in a case pertaining to her son. I was telling y'all about the case earlier and the mother who went 7 years every week doing things to work on her son's case. 7 years it took. And that mother and that father never let up. Katie and Chris let up about day 14 when they left to go on vacation. They let up. When they left to go to Mississippi and stay in the Yogi Bear campground site, when Chris really didn't have a job to go back to, they gave up. But why put in all the extra work that it takes every single week, every day of the week, when you already know where he's at? Why are you going to go above and beyond? Do all the extra stuff when you don't really need to because you know where he's at. That's how I feel his mother is. That's what I feel about his mom. She's doing the bare minimum. Bare minimum. And his dad is out there daily, every day, every week. And you can tell which one is devastated and which one is not. The side by side was from the same interview, America's Most Wanted. I put them together side by side because there is night and day in these two people. K-Mac, I'm just encouraging anybody that would like to go above and beyond Sumner County to send him a letter, send him an email, whatever you need to do. I'm just leaving that up there. It is a choice each and every one can make on their own. And he may not answer us, but by golly, he's going to know we're out here. Same interview, guys, about their son, this mother, this father, the one who's had multiple vacations on the left, the one who has stayed and continues to this day to fight to find his son. There was a sighting that kind of looked like Sebastian. His father gets in the car and drives to Virginia because he needed to make sure. Not Katie, not his mom. She doesn't get in the car and drive because Mr. Chris said, that is not him. Okay, it's close enough that it needed to be checked out. But his dad was not giving up a possibility. But Mr. Chris and Katie, in my opinion, knew it was not Sebastian. They know where he is, and they're not going to give any more effort than they absolutely have to because they know how much little effort they have to do. Folks, this right here, this picture is a picture of a father who has no clue where his child is misses him horribly, and a mother who's nice and rested and had several vacations. That's truth. That's receipts. It's horrible when you stop and think about the fact that a mom waited 2 weeks before her vacation because it was planned. 2 weeks. Two weeks. If it took him little over a week to calm down for whatever reason made him run away, he might have been so worked up he was going to teach him a lesson. And what happens? He comes home and they're not there. And I'm going to assume the locks were changed. The number to the front door was changed because she left his stuff out on the front porch. He knew the code. He could have got in on his own, but she left stuff out on the porch when she was gone. Because Mr. Chris wasn't going to let him come back in, right? That's all we can assume. That's all we can assume. From parents who go on vacations, because he might be anywhere. Lots of excuses. Lots of excuses. Kathy, thank you so much for that. You are so sweet. That is so precious of you. Thank you for the super sticker. I appreciate you. Thank you for that, Kathy. You're so sweet, and I do appreciate it more than you could ever know. Well, guys, I've kept you on here just right about close to 2 hours coming up. I hope that all the mothers today that are listening, whether it's right now on replay or whatever, I hope you've had a wonderful Mother's Day. I hope that as you go on through life, no matter the frustrations that come along with motherhood, even when your kids are grown, old, up in the 30s and higher, they can be frustrating. But just remember, they are a gift. They are a gift. Remember, God made you in a way that is so amazing and so special that you're called a mother. And so with that, I'm going to let y'all know tomorrow I will come on. It will either be at 3 o'clock Central or 4 o'clock Central. Have to wait and find out ball games, but tomorrow's the two little ones' last games until All-Star start. So I'm going to go watch them play. But I got to figure out their time before I know what time to start. But I'll come back on tomorrow. We'll see you then. Until then, everybody have a super great night. Remember, Sebastian is the reason we're all here. And if you go into a chat somewhere and they're not talking about Sebastian and they're attacking others, be very, very cautious. So with that, love and hugs, my friends. See y'all soon.